Hey guys, today we're going to make a little craft that goes along with our Bible story about Paul. We're actually going to make a picture of the shipwreck, okay? So I'm going to show you what you need and I'm going to kind of walk you through it. You're probably not going to be seeing my face a lot. Here are some of the things that you're going to need to do this. You have a journal, little spiral notebook at home. You can pull out some lined paper. If you have just white paper at home, you can use that also. I'm going to show you how to do it on this lined paper, okay? Also, if you have any construction paper at home, any yellow, you may use that, but you don't have to do that. But if you want to use that, you can. And if you have any brown construction paper at home, you can use that also. But if you don't have that, it's okay. Everything that we need, really, we can use here. And then I have a pencil. I always like to keep that handy. A glue stick. Now, these are Mrs. Armstrong's big scissors. You need to get your small scissors from your pencil box, okay? Next, I'm using, this is my coffee creamer. I'm finding something that has a round shape on the bottom, like a circle, not too big. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. And then crayons, I've got brown, yellow. I picked up 2 different kinds of blues and then a gray. Now, if you have this colored paper here, you may not need this brown and yellow crayon, but this whole thing can be done with just this kind of paper and some crayons. So here's what we're going to do. Now, I always like to have the holes on the bottom for my picture. That's just the way I do it. And I'm going to take one of my blues and I'm going to make at the bottom something that looks kind of like waves. And again, you can use either blue that you want. Sometimes I color lightly with one blue and then add another blue, because when God made the oceans and the seas, he didn't make it look like it was all one color. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to color this. And you notice I'm trying to color in one direction to make it look nice and neat. Okay? We're making the ocean here. Remember that Paul was telling people about Jesus, and he, along with some other prisoners, he had been put into jail, were put on a boat. They were the leaders of the day were trying to basically get rid of Paul, so they put him on a boat to ship them off. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do, if you're using yellow paper, I don't know if you can see that here, I took the bottom of this on here and I traced it, because honestly, Mrs. Armstrong cannot draw round circles very well. If that does not bother you that it's not completely round, that's okay. Or you can also just do it on another sheet of this. You can do the same thing right here. Take something, you might need a grown-up or a sibling at your house. You don't want it to be too big, here, like that, but big enough. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it with this paper here, and we're going to cut this circle out. Now remember, I'm using my big scissors. I would really feel better if you used your smaller scissors. So we're going to have the shape of a round circle here. Let me move this out of the way. A round circle right here. And then, or if you do it with your yellow paper too, that's fine. And then you're going to kind of try to find the middle and cut it in half. So you're going to have what we call a semicircle or a half circle, 2 circles. One of these you don't need. Now I had already done one right here, and I took my yellow crayon and colored it yellow. I'm going to finish that up. Colored it yellow. This is actually going to be our ship. Now, in the story, of course, this ship was a lot bigger and had a lot of people on it. I colored mine yellow, but see, if you cut it out of this yellow paper, it will already be yellow. And then I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to put some around. Try to get it around the edges if you can. Whoops, excuse me, right here. And I'm going to glue it right here, like it's in the ocean, okay? After that, we're going to cut a little pole that's going to be where we put our flag to sail. Now, I had some brown construction paper, I did that, but again, use this, cut this out, take your brown crayon, it's a little tricky, color it brown like that, and you can glue it on. I'm going to show you how I'm going to glue it on. I don't want it to be too tall or it won't fit. Right like that, okay? And the next thing I'm going to do is cut out a triangle for the sail. Now, I'm just going to use, if you have just a piece of regular white paper, let's see, you can draw it first if you want. Here's a triangle, and I'm going to glue this on. And of course, while you're watching this, you can always stop the video, pause it, so you can go back and make sure, because I'm moving kind of quickly like that. Now, if you use white paper or this lined paper for the sail, it doesn't matter. I took a gray crayon and I kind of lightly went over my sail to make it stand out. Otherwise, that white sail is just, it's not going to be very noticeable. So it looks like this, okay? Now, remember, they shipwrecked, okay? And in the Bible, it talks about, some places it says there might have been a rock, or the sand was built up and they rammed into the sand. So what I'm going to do, I took my gray crayon and I kind of made like this kind of thing that could be like the sand. I took my brown, I kind of made some dots on it to look like sand. And then I colored it in kind of lightly, because if it's sand, it's probably mixed in with some rock and stone. But the fact is, it was big enough to where that ship got on there, rammed into it, and the ship was broken to pieces. So here we are right here, okay? And then lastly, I took my blue crayon. Now, if you want to do it in pencil first, you can. Then I just drew Paul here. I made some hair on him. This is Paul, okay? I tried to kind of make some clothes right here. So there's that, and then I made this one also. So this is really what you're going to be making. See, one of these, I put the holes at the top, one I put the holes at the bottom. It doesn't matter. You can do this entire project on lined paper from one of the spirals that we've sent home with you, okay? You do not have to have color paper. So you'll need your glue, your scissors, and remember that God spoke to Paul, and Paul and all of the prisoners on the ship were worried to death because the winds were high. There was a storm. They thought they were all going to die, and God made a promise to Paul that they were going to be just fine. And even though they shipwrecked and they ran into this huge piece of sand and rock, and the ship was completely torn to pieces, no one on the ship was harmed. God always keeps his promises.